Yo, what is up, everybody? Robot Vice here. I got a comment on one of my videos saying, hey, are you planning on making a Treant guide anytime soon? And the answer to that is no. But, just for you, I will be doing this here commentary over one of my Treant games from last night. May have been the best Treant game of my life. So we're going to see a lot of cool stuff. And we'll be able to explain the different thought processes as we go through this. So let's get started here. I start with Oov, Shield, and a set of tangos every single game. No questions asked. I don't care Sentry Wards. I don't care if... The only thing I care about is heroes like Lena or Batrider, Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger's not that bad, but like people who can cut down a lot of trees with one spell. So Beastmaster, even Enigma with his Midnight Pulse is an interesting potential counter to the Treant if you think about it. But if one of those heroes does come to my lane, what I do is I will just go to the other lane. Obviously, Treant can't rotate middle very often. If you wanted to, you probably want to bring 1 or 2 Ironwood branches. And if you don't understand why, then, you know, that's the only way you'd want to gank mid. If you have 2 Ironwood branches. There you go, little tip. So, a lot of people don't know this, okay? But as you're scouting down on both sides, Treant is very, very cool in a way that he can actually walk up this hill. If he stays on this tree line, he can walk around this way. If the enemy is smart, they will cut this tree early. They do have to waste a tango, so some people don't do it. But if you cut this tree right here, you can stop a Treant from coming up here. Now, on the other side, it's similar. It's right here. You can come up right here, walk around, come up the hill, come to this tree right here. But if the Dire team cuts this tree, then you can't. So this is really nice because this is one area you have a hard time scouting as a Treant Protector, or as a team in general without a Treant Protector. But with a tree, you're able to get up on both of these high grounds. You can get up here and be here, and you can get up here all while staying invisible. So there you go. I shouldn't be dropping these factoids, but we're doing it. So I'm up on the high ground here. We notice Chen only has 1 tango, so I just start clicking them down. He messes up here. I don't know what he's doing. He only has 1 tango, but he actually gives me time to reuse my Q to allow me to get first blood. But we do lose all 4 bounty runes for this, so if we were better players, I would finish that kill and Axe would have already been running back to the runes, but that's how it goes, you know? So now I get another Leech or Nature's Guise off. It's only 30 mana, so you really don't need mana regen to start on this hero. I don't think so at all. And I end up deciding to hit the Chen here because I can't make it over to the Wraith King. I'm going to turn down the volume just a tad. There we go. Just so you guys can hear me a little bit better. I don't know if it was off, but... So what you're going to be doing in this lane now is the first couple waves, if they don't have that much pressure on you, what you can do is you can sit here and make sure that you're denying creeps. You have 91 damage, okay? I walked over here to block this small camp, but I did something weird, and I, didn't block it. I messed up. That was really bad, but that's life. So now I'm coming back here. They're actually ferrying out 2 sentries to bottom because they're so sick of me already. And that's taking the courier away from middle, which is really good. And right now we're just denying this wave back. So the problem with me not blocking the small camp, as you'll see very soon, is this Chen is going to take control of one of these creeps. And I didn't want him to do that. Imagine if it would have been like a Harpy with the chain lightning. Could have just like made our lane really hard. But they're starting to cut down the trees. And they got 2 sentries now, so my game becomes a little bit more challenging. I walk over here just to see what Chen's doing. And I notice that he's coming back with a creep now. So, I'm not going to go through, like, obviously we're not going to sit here and watch the whole game at 1x speed. We're going to go through the entire game, but we're going to do different speeds and things like that. So here, I catch Treant on the right side, and we just start clicking them down. It's that easy. With Battle Hunger, Orb of Venom, and Leech Seed, it's just too much. Very strong combo. I was running a combo. I've done it a couple times with Capitalist. Treant Tidehunter. It's pretty nasty. Between Leech Seed, Orb of Venom, and Gush, reducing their armor for this 95 damage hero. It's pretty nasty. So, the Axe really could just go cut, and we could tri-lane top, which would probably be more ideal in most scenarios. But it's working out, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what this guy's thinking. But I walked to bottom rune here. I noticed Chen was leaving, so I was starting to follow him. He's got an Alpha Wolf. Very spooky. I'm considering TPing top here because this is a rotation that I make very commonly on Treant Protector. Once I'm level 3, I feel like I can provide enough to a lane. I mean, you really could level 1 and 2 technically, but with level 3, you basically secure yourself a kill. And you don't want to rotate up here without getting a kill. I think that's really bad for your game, especially when you're building the skill build that I am. Because you're not able to provide much value unless you are getting kills. You're giving vision, obviously, but you get what I'm saying. So they end up putting a sentry ward down here on the bounties. I'm like, Axe, can you come over to the bounties, my dude? But he's really low, so we end up just getting 1 bounty rune on this cycle. And I'm going invisible here. It's another thing. Another tip for people who want to play Treant Protector is I typically will use my invisibility before I teleport. That way, there's no risk. I might not even be teleporting here, but you'll see is there's less risk of you being spotted when you TP in by a ward or something if you start off invisible, because you could make yourself invisible, then TP, and as long as you TP into a tree line, you will stay invisible. So just something to think about. So I TP top here. I noticed Sand King is like getting low and he's farming over here, but I don't have any detection, so I'm like, wait till he comes out of the sandstorm, or we'll all probably die. And we end up running at the Sand King. We find ourselves a kill on him. So, well worth it for me. My game's going really well. I've got Tranquil Boots already. I wouldn't say amazingly well, but with the circumstances, what I did bottom was I followed the Chen around a lot, and I really didn't sap that much experience from the lane, which I typically do on this hero. I typically am just in the lane at all times on the tree line, just attacking people, right? But I was kind of exploring a little bit and moving around. So we noticed that they bring a sentry ward up to the top lane, and I start wrapping around. I'm unable to make... I guess we'll watch the rest of this first. Unable to make it over right away. We have Dust for this Sand King, but he's really strong in this sandstorm. So we end up just letting him be. So what I was going to tell you guys is this hero relies a lot on movement speed. to make it from one tree line to another, if that makes sense. So like wanting to cross from this tree to this tree, you can't do it with just regular boots of speed. Or you may be able to do it, but you can't go from like here to here without like tranquil boots and windlace, which you'll see that I go. My core build is boots, wand, obviously shield, oov, and then I make tranquil boots and I get a second windlace on top of the tranquil boots. So once I have my tranks plus windlace plus magic wand plus stout plus oov, then I will build a meteor hammer, which we'll see. We'll talk about that when we get there. But I really prioritize having that movement speed with the tranquil boots plus the windlace because it just allows me to maneuver everywhere while staying invisible. Not everywhere, but the majority of the map. Which is also why I think that Yules could be potentially really nice on this hero. I haven't really tried it out much, but I definitely have seen Treants in the past get it. And that movement speed is just... can't really compare it to many other perks of a hero when it comes to Treant, because he just relies on it so much until you have your Blink Dagger. So here we scout out the Sand King. I've got Dust this time, so I'm just gonna run up and hit him. I'm walking this way because I thought he was gonna Burrow Strike over. So by me doing this, it forces him to Burrow Strike left, which actually sets us up for 2 very nice kills. So you'll see here, I've got my core items. I sold my shield, which I typically do pretty early on this hero to pick up something like another windlace, or you know what I mean. I don't. Once 10 minutes has passed, I really don't think the shield is necessary on this hero. And we're just ruining this top lane for the Sand King. So Wind Ranger's getting dove mid. This is like the first of, this was like a rotation you would never see me make unless it was against a Wind Ranger, because Treant actually owns Wind Ranger for many reasons. One is that this Nature's Guise cannot miss. Okay, if you go on this skill and hold Alt, it will say attack out of invisibility cannot miss. Okay? This is pretty insane against a hero like Wind Ranger, okay? If you think about it, with this Wind Run, I can automatically root her for 2.2 seconds of her, whatever, her Wind Run, which lasts 4 seconds at the level she has it right now, or 6 seconds. You add on top of that this Overgrowth, which just allows them so they cannot attack. So Treant is actually an incredible... People often think that Wind Ranger is pretty good against Treant, because if you catch him, if you just throw a shackle shot, he's going to get shackled. Or if you power shot, you can destroy trees, blah, blah, blah. But no, when they changed this, I believe that Treant is a true counter to Wind Ranger now. So here I use my ulti, I follow up with a Leech Seed into a Nature's Guise, and you saw the focus fire just completely stopped. So this is a really nice rotation by me, one that I don't typically make. So I was really happy with myself after the... Obviously, like, watching this post-game and analyzing it for myself, you know, here I take so much fucking damage. Oh my god. And then I try to walk back to the shrine. Watch. And they come out again because they were Leech Seeded. So I get aggroed. So now I'm on my way to a Meteor Hammer. I'm really farmed, having a great game. Level 7 now. I just walk out here and why not? Why not just run at this Wraith King? I can. He can't do anything to me. He can turn around and stun me, but I don't care because I have Leech Seed going. It'll just heal me. So we end up just killing a Wraith King twice because I decided to run up and start attacking him. So here, Axe gets jumped, but he's not running towards me. And you might have said, why didn't you just ulti right there? You had the mana. I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't think it was worth it, but maybe it was. Might have been a mistake. So yeah, I got a little more farm here coming. I find this Wind Ranger here. I'm like, guys, I have ulti. Like, she just dies immediately. No one's coming, though. So, I'm just moving on the tree line here. I'm gonna try to steal some Axe's CS. I don't even think he should be here. Maybe he should be. You're probably right. If Lifestealer's still top, he should probably still be here. He should maybe be mid. I don't know. I just don't think we can defend against them with our current heroes. So I'm calling out, there's a Wraith King here with no ulti. Axe has no HP. Like, let's go, Invoker. Let's kill this fuck. We don't even need my ulti. Cold Snap. Invoker and Treant also work really nice together with the Cold Snap. There's just so many procs of damage between this doing damage over time. 215 damage over 2.2 seconds. This is doing, you know, 48 damage or 49.22 damage over 5.25 seconds. It's just a really nice combination. We've got bounty runes coming up here. So I'm in position for those. And I'm like, guys, I almost have a freaking Meteor Hammer. I usually don't get this Meteor Hammer until like 25 minutes on this hero in most games. But this game I'm just farming really, really well. And I notice a fight's breaking out top. I TP in. I ult, I get 2, and it works out. I missed the Tornoodle. So this is kind of a guide in itself, right? Like, I'm explaining my thought process, why I'm doing the things I'm doing. And while we're on that topic of thought processes, you guys might wonder why I go 4-4-0. Doesn't everybody think Living Armor is like the most broken thing ever? Isn't it like the best spell on Treant? I think the way that I'm playing this hero right now, I think this is like gonna be meta very soon. Personally, I really think that this build that I'm doing is amazing. I'm having incredible success with it, and I just think it's so broken in certain games. If the enemy shows their 2 supports as 2 supports that get crushed by Treant with an Uv shield, they have a Chen and a Lina support, okay? I mean, 1 hit from me is like a quarter of their HP in the early game. So it just allows me to punish heroes significantly. And that's why I've been picking this so much recently, as these like range supports are so common, these range squishy supports. And I'm loving it. I'm loving playing this hero right now. So anyways, I just think that this 4-4-0 build allows me to have more impact in the game. It allows me to be a bigger threat on the map, not as much as a defensive hero, but just like an absolutely aggressive hero. So here I pick up my Meteor Hammer. I'm going to go back and show you guys. I pick up my Meteor Hammer, and the first thing I do is I notice that they're grouping to push top right now, and I'm going to completely shut it down. Just like this. You'll get used to this. There's a timing that you can hit every creep on the creep wave, okay? If you do it in the correct position, but this is not the time. These are standing pretty still. So here, I drop a Meteor Hammer. We hit the entire wave and the Wraith King. They end up blowing a dust, and now they have no creep wave. And this is just like the power of this hero. You guys are seeing just a very small portion of it. Meanwhile, Lina gets picked off around on the other side of the map. And here again, they're going to go for this push. And I'm just going to drop another Meteor Hammer. and all of a sudden they're done pushing top. It's absurd. And plus, with this 4-4-0 build, I'm able to get more kills, which amplifies my farm, which gets me to this Meteor Hammer faster, which this Meteor Hammer is really unique to this hero. And same with maybe Nyx Assassin, is that they don't really have flash farming capabilities, so they often end up lower on the net worth charts. But Meteor Hammer one-shots a creep wave, okay? And it has a cooldown of 25 seconds. Now you can walk around the map and farm as if you're like this is a farming item, okay? This is also it's great and it works really well with the roots obviously on Treant, but for the most part the big reason that I get this Meteor Hammer is cuz it's a farming item and it allows me to amplify my GPM because I don't have a GPM talent. You know, I'm going to fall behind if I'm not doing something, right? Cuz he can't farm really that fast. He doesn't have a way of farming. This is that way of farming, this Meteor Hammer. And plus you're gonna see obviously with the overgrowth how it combines. So here again, they're pushing. I end up messing up my Meteor Hammer. It was a mistake. This axe was really like he was Divine 3. If you guys didn't know, the Immortal bracket is all messed up. I'm ranked 100. I'm rank 105, and I'm constantly in games with at least one Ancient or Divine player in every single game if I'm not 5-stacking, which is really unfortunate. But here, we find the Wind Ranger. I just end up blowing the ult into the Meteor Hammer. This is the combo. It's a perfectly timed with even a level 1 ulti. You can get your ult into the Meteor Hammer. It's a great combo. It's really nice. So here, we scout out the Sand King. I've got the Dust. And we find the Lina. Little bonus kill. We see the Chen. Chen ends up sniping our courier. I TP top immediately to go get the bounty rune top, so we get 1. So we end up getting 3 bounty runes. And this allows me to go top and Meteor Hammer. But they end up fording right there. And I'm pretty sure they forded just because they saw me using Meteor Hammer, which is a common thing that people do for some reason because it upsets them. I don't know. They just want to like trigger me or something, and they end up blowing their glyph for that, so good for them. So here, a really bad fight takes place. I'm just not even sure what's happening right here. So I'm in the area deciding if we want to defend or not. I end up just Meteor Hammering the wave after they back up. And now my next item is going to be a Blink Dagger. Okay, this is the next core item on this hero. Obviously, it just allows you to, for one, I guess we'll wait till we pick it up and then we'll explain. So now that I have points in my living armor, I'm going to start healing up the towers. We see our axe getting gone on, but with my armor in the shrine, we end up making it work. I pop my ulti here, and I try to put down a Meteor Hammer. Ends up hitting 1. I should have used my dust here, but I'm an idiot. And I didn't use my dust right away, which was a mistake, or we probably would have killed him right here. So, I definitely made a mistake there for sure. But we end up killing 3 of them, because they dove our shrine. And now I have my Blink Dagger, and I'm going to explain to you why I go Blink Dagger, okay? Blink is absolutely amazing on this hero. It obviously combines really well with Overgrowth for the sake of it's just got Overgrowth's got a huge AoE. I'm talking like very, very big. So being able to blink and get in position for a good overgrowth is amazing. But also, it allows you to blink dagger. Items do not cancel your nature's guise. So you're able to go into the trees on one side, go invisible, and you can blink to the other side and stay invisible. So this now allows you to pretty much stay permanently invisible with this blink dagger and this 10% cooldown reduction. You can basically stay invisible, moving at all times with this blink. Now, it also allows you to move into the trees, quickly use your nature's guise, and then blink out into the open and attack somebody. The fade time on I just want to make sure. So it checks in 0.75 second intervals for nearby trees. So you're able to have that 0.75 seconds, which is enough time to land an auto attack on somebody before you come out of invisibility. So you're able to you don't have to be near the trees to root somebody with nature's guise. You can go into the trees, use it, and then blink out and attack somebody in the open, not under trees, and it will still hit them with the root. So a couple of reasons why blink's so good. And then I'm going to move into Ag Scepter here. I love this item on this hero. Obviously, it's just like a game-changing item. It's one of those really broken spells in certain games. It just gives you so much vision permanently until they find a way to get rid of them. And it's just amazing because it also adds the damage. So this Overgrowth doesn't do damage unless you have Aghanims. So once you have Aghanims, it does 175 damage per second for 5 seconds. That's nearly 1,000 damage. Okay, that's pretty crazy if you think about it. That alone is almost worth getting an Aghanims for almost 1,000 damage to everybody you hit. Plus, it hits everybody that is near your Aghanims trees. And that includes creep waves. You know, you can cut creep waves. You can cut all 3 creep waves if you have stuff in the correct position. You can farm neutrals, do whatever. You know, this has a 63-second cooldown with the CDR talent at level 3. So not a very long cooldown. Pretty amazing. So you see here, the power of Tree countering Wind Ranger. You saw it right there. Just locked down forever. So you'll see I go invisible here. I'm waiting for my Blink Dagger to come up. And I scout out the Wraith King here. So I'm blinking up here. I end up breaking my invis, but we find the TREANT Protector here, which is huge. So I get the root. I end up putting down the Meteor Hammer, but not good. He blinks, but he ends up doing this. So he blink. Let's watch this in free camera. I remember this. This was hilarious. So he blinks out. Nice play by him. But then he immediately, I knew he went here. I was gonna blink here if I didn't see him TPing. But then he TP'd to the tower right here, so we killed him. I'm just saying, good game, well played. That's hilarious. So now I'm just gonna push out top wave. My axe gets jumped middle. And I'm considering going for Solar Crest here. Because we just don't have one. I think it'd be really nice against Wind Ranger. So I end up trying to hold my ulti. I tried to hold my ulti here to just try to get more than one person besides the Wind Ranger. But you can see here, I even blink in again. And you can just see how this hero is so countered. So first the Overgrowth. But this Invoker fires a Tornado. So he ends up wind running over here. I Leech Seed. And then I blink. And I auto him during his wind run. And he just dies. It's pretty amazing. Sorry, I just am learning, like, through watching this game how much Treant counters Wind Ranger now. And I'm just figuring it out, so it's making me happy. So I'm still here, invisible. I catch the Sand King. And the mobility is pretty nuts once you have a blink on this hero. I can't end up getting the Lina, but that's life. I TP mid, and now that I have level 4 living armor and whenever my ulti's on CD, I can honestly just be in like other lanes if I want to, and I can just heal from the other side of the map while I push in other lanes with Meteor Hammer, which is a pretty unique concept to this hero. I'm scared that I'm going to die if I walk out here and auto this once more. I could Meteor Hammer it, but for some reason I'm saving my Meteor Hammer to I guess I'm using it here. Alright. Tower gets denied, no big deal. I was hoping more of my team would have wrapped towards mid there, but it did not happen. So they just walk into Roche here, and this was like, I was really sketched out about this. I was like, we need to get a pick off before we can't just like walk into Roche unless we see them on the bottom side of the map, which we don't. So I was really sketched out by this call, but we ended up going for it. And I'm like, guys, there's Wraith King, Wind Ranger, both mid. They're coming. They're coming. I'm scouting them out. They're coming. And I'm far away here. I could have blinked over these trees, but it was risky. But then all of a sudden, my whole team just fucking dies. So Invoker buys back. I'm almost dead. I get a nice overgrowth, but they end up stunning my Meteor Hammer. So that's a good note. Another thing to remember, I was invisible, but the cool thing is with the Meteor Hammer is if you're going to overgrow someone and then Meteor Hammer, which is the typical combo, you need to make sure that they don't have a stun or that they cannot see you after you overgrowth. So you need to overgrowth and then Meteor Hammer from the fog or invisible, or else they can just stun you while you're casting your Meteor Hammer. Just something to keep in mind. So I'm like fucking super low here. I forget if I die or not. Oh yeah. I thought I was dead for sure. So I literally just like gave up on life. But look at this. The dust wore off, and I literally could have just like walked away right now. They have no more detection. But I went in for this auto attack for some reason. So, minor throw from me, but bigger throw from the squad. And I believe they take Roche. So, game has been officially thrown. Now this is where it gets interesting. My Life Stealer gets caught bottom, which is not good. And we're back alive now. So you'll notice I'm not that great. I know that I'm not that great about always spamming living armor on every little thing whenever it's off CD. I'm working on that, and I need to be better at it, but I'm definitely getting better at it, I've noticed. As it's just, yeah, see, look, I went bottom. Axe gets a call here. Wind Ranger does have a BKB. I follow up his call with a Meteor Hammer, and then I blink in an Overgrowth on the back. And they call out that this is Wraith King's second life, so he throws pretty hard. So Wraith King just threw mega hard. Sand King's Lina gets out, Sand King blinks away. And I just want to go push out the lanes now, so I tell them to go mid, and I'm going to shove out bottom. That's what I do. And now I've got my point booster, 400 gold from Aghanims. We take this mid tower. And now I'm running bottom to push out this wave again. And you can see how farmed we get on this TREANT. I mean, we're like the same net worth as our Axe, but the Lena, I guess it's not that farm because this Lena is still ahead of us. But we're pretty farmed. So here, he ends up infesting me. I get a nice overgrowth off, and I end up hitting the Meteor Hammer on the Wraith King. Life Stealer's got Rage back up. We take out the Wraith King's first life. It's a Lena buyback. Kind of sketchy here. Axe buys back. I just pop a Dust out to make sure that we have vision. A nice call from Axe here. Sand King does do an epi. And take out 2. I have no more Dust. I'm calling it out. I checked the CMs. We have no more detection for Sand King. So I'm waiting for him to try to get out of the sandstorm right now. But it looks like he just TP's out. So, yeah. But I got my Ags coming out on the courier. And the next item after Blink, Ags, Meteor Hammer is a gem. Okay? Once you have the items to establish map control, you need to make sure that you do have map control. And that's what this gem is going to do. Is you're going to deward everything and you're going to have vision of everything. You're going to make sure that anytime they lay a ward, you're going to know about it. So, we take the bottom racks and we call to move towards mid. And we take the racks and back up. But our boys get caught. So that's not good because Axe bought back the last fight. And then Invoker somehow gets jumped as well. For some fucking bad reason. I don't know why. So I've got my gem now. I'm just going to put out, you're going to see here, the power. I put an overgrowth here. Eyes in the Forest or whatever. And you're going to see what happens to their creep wave. First creep wave, I Meteor Hammer. Perfect Meteor Hammer. Hit the entire wave. So the entire wave's dead. Their glyphs on CD. So they have no wave right now. Wind Ranger's out here looking for me. They put a sentry down. But we have backdoor protection up. And I'm just chilling up here. They're looking for me everywhere. And look what happens to the second wave. So now, this 50 seconds that they still could be pushing right now, they can't do anything. So they end up just TPing back. And that's some of the power of trees if you get this kind of farm on this hero. So right now, I'm putting down some more eyes in the forest, and I'm scouting around with my gem to find any wards. And keeping this bot lane pushed in, even though it does have super creeps already. So now that I have bot shoving in and I have 2 eyes down there, I move over towards top, and I'm going to start getting vision around here. We notice that they smoke mid. They catch our CM. She buys back. I get a nice overgrowth on both supports into a Meteor Hammer, which is nice. And I'm trying to stay on the Sand King with the gem. And we take out 4. Looking for Wind Ranger here. She was just around this area, but she ended up TPing back. Force the Sand King buyback, and we're a little scared to go push. That allowed me to get 2 pretty offensive eyes in the forest. One here and one here. Which is just more map control for us. So now my next eye, I want to get one up here for when if they come to contest Roshan. And all these eyes are, it's similar to techies. You want to put these eyes in places where you think these next fights are going to break out. That's what you want to do with the eyes of the forest. So now I can just chill up here by myself because I'm not scared because we have so much vision. And I'm invisible. So I want to get another eye down in this area. That way we have absolute control of their tri-camp. And I noticed they're moving here with a sentry. And I'm like, guys, can we do anything here? Can we do anything? There's support Chen right here with no defensive items. But no, we can't do shit. Somehow we weren't able to get there in time. Scout out the Sand King above us. And we're going to go run at this SK. But he ends up getting out. So Roche is up now. Catch the Sand King here. But they end up just going on our Invoker, who's just super out of position for some reason. Get an Overgrowth down on 2. Into a, my Meteor Hammer gets canceled. A scout out a gem here that I'm going to go pick up, hopefully. Probably should be using armor on the CM, but that's life, I guess. I'm being very patient right now because I know that the Wind Ranger bought back. So now I'm going to TP up here to get vision of the SK, find him for a second. He gets the Yules off. We get pinned together, which is really not good. I get just chilling over here. I got the living armor off on my Lifestealer. Coming back in range with the gem, trying to give him vision. And I'm like, I got Overgrowth in 3 seconds. So I get this guy, and I walk in here and get the 3-man Overgrowth. I put down the Meteor Hammer, double Meteor Hammer, and we take them all out. So nice little 2v3 action. I end up getting Boots of Travel here, moving towards a Refresher Orb, which would most likely be my next item. I'm not sure if it would be Refresher Orb or like Octarine or maybe even just like a Sheep Stick or something. I'm not sure what that last item would be, but we end up going down and trying to end the game. And that we do. So I would definitely say I went 11-1 in 31. I would definitely say that this has been like, I don't know if it's necessarily my best ever Treant game, but it was definitely like, I felt like I had impact in every part of the game. Plus, I felt like I had some pretty game-winning plays, like a few different ones. So, anyways, guys, I don't make these videos to toot my own horn. I know when I'm playing like shit, and I know when I'm doing things good, right? So, I'm well aware enough to be able to pat myself on the back sometimes because I beat myself up a lot, if that makes sense. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I hope you learned something. And most importantly, I hope you guys are having a good day. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.